Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Cigars and Everything Else podcast. We are in episode 67. Hey, man, D.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you go ahead and take over from here, man. What we got for 67? I know
Man,
you got...
We got somebody, man. You know what I'm saying? A Chicago Bull. You know what I'm saying? One of the greatest franchises in the 90s. But he didn't play in the 90s.
Dude.
His name is Taj Gibson.
Hey, man, it's a Taj Gibson episode, man. All right, we're going to skip on past that. Hey, man, we're going to get into some cigar talk and a little bit of everything else this week. My name is Jared. Denzel's my co-host, man. Hey, man, and let's introduce the stars of the actual show today.
Yeah, because I'm ready for
I'm going to go first because I think I got a repeat guest, man. Did I have a Punch Golden Era?
Oh, I think you did. You had a Punch recently, but was it Golden Era? And you know what's funny? I was thinking about picking that one up in the cigar spot today. I said, "Ooh, Golden Era." So I don't think you had Golden Era. You had a Punch, but might not have been Golden Era. Because Golden Era caught my eye today when I was looking for my stick today. Golden Era caught my eye.
Wouldn't that be crazy, man? If it caught my eye more than once, I smoked it, didn't enjoy it, and then it caught my eye again.
It's a looker. You say, and you didn't enjoy it?
Yeah, and then I still came back and bought it again. I got to go through the replay of the old episodes, man. I wonder if I smoked this, didn't like it, and then I'm smoking it again this week. I don't know.
But to see that's presentation, man. Presentation matters. It sells. Yeah. Like it caught your eye. You didn't like it, caught your eye again. That would be crazy. But at the same time, like I said, it caught my eye. I turned around, I saw Punch. Like, Punch actually sounds nice. And I saw that Golden Era caught my eye.
That's crazy. Hey, man, Punch, you're doing something well, man. You're making money. I don't know if you get customers on through quality work. We're going to see. But you are making money, man. So good. Shout out to you for good presentation. We doing this again? We in production, brother.
I did it again. I closed it, okay? It ain't going to happen.
Last time it was Lil Uzi or something. Last time, man. Who you got now, man?
It was Migos. At least that was cool. That was Alex Isley and Terrace Martin, man. I was on my jazz vibe.
Okay, man. Yeah. Okay, man. Because the people, they think that you're one thing. You can't present yourself as one thing and then come as a whole nother thing, man. You got some.
Oh, this boy listening to Gucci and Migos, man. Come on now. You talking about. Man. You can't have this hip hop conversation. Yeah, you want to talk about Hov? You want to talk about Hov? You want to talk about Jay-Z?
Yeah, as much as we done had to say about Jay-Z, and you come out with all this Pound Town mess that you playing in the background.
You won't never hear that coming from time out. That's too far. Too far.
Hey, man. And let's clarify something. I still don't know what Pound Town is, man. You keep making these jokes and references of this to me. I don't know what this is, man.
And you know what? I sent you the link. And I felt so bad for sending you the link. I deleted it. Like, you know what? I'm not going to introduce that to your world. Like, you know what? I just deleted it. Like, don't worry about it. Don't do it to yourself. If you don't know, stay ignorant to it. It's okay. Like, you don't need to introduce that into your life. I was like, because I wanted to make a joke about it and I wanted to address it. But I was like, you know what? Honestly, it's not even worth the joke. It's not even worth the joke.
Hey, look, man, I'm going to tell you this. When I hear rap music that I don't like no more, I get away from it that quick. I don't waste no time with it no more. Immediately. Like, and within 15, that's too much. Probably within about 2 to 3 seconds, I can realize if it's some garbage and I get away from it. 2 to 3 seconds. If I hear, I'm like, gotta go. I ain't with that, man.
But ain't that crazy, though? That is crazy.
Yeah.
Coming from an era, like our parents listen to our music, like, yeah, what are they listening to? And then we get to that point, like, but honestly, like, I don't even feel like it's just a generation thing. It honestly is a quality thing. You know, it's not that we don't understand the generation's music. It's the quality. Like, I feel like at some point, like, even our, elders had to look at some of the art that we did and was halfway okay with it. Like, you know what? I might not get it, but I can see the talent in that, and a lot, and more than not.
Yeah.
Like even my pops, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't a big rap fan, but I could tell that he would listen to some rap and be like, you know what? That's actually pretty good. I'm with that. I like that vibe. It's cool. He might not be able to get with all of it, all the gangster rap and this and that, but it was some rap that he was like, yeah, I like that.
That's the only thing that turned our parents off. The ones that left rap, like my dad left rap. You know what I'm saying? I was introduced to hip hop through my father, and then at a point,
yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was like, nah, I can't. It's too much of that. Yeah, I'm cool on all that. But
yeah,
for us, it seems like it's way more than, you know what I'm saying? It's too far. It's too far. It's too far in the non-talent pool for me.
Yeah.
It's not enough talent going around. Anyway, that's a whole nother subject. I want to get into my star, man.
Yeah.
So we did the spicy sticks, and I've been on spice for a while. Actually, craving spice for a little bit too afterwards. It's like after smoking that spicy stick, I'm like, you know what? I want some more spice. But I veered away from it on this one, mainly because you and your Placencia yesterday. I was like, man, I gotta go back to some quality. I gotta go back to high quality. So I intentionally went looking for a certain range of cigar, a certain price point. Eventually into Partagas, and I was looking for Partagas' upper brand. Couldn't find the upper brand. Found more of their mid to lower. So I veered away from that and ended up in the Cohiba area. So we went with the Cohiba Riviera. $21 price point. So we'll see if it lives up to the price point area. You know, the Davidoffs, the Placencias, you know, Cohiba, what they usually do great in that $20 price range. So we got the purple band on it. Purple band.
Okay.
Box press.
I see that. I hope it's got some spice to it also. Ain't gonna lie to you. Would make things perfect.
It would be. It would be. Because I do want some more spice. But I want some good quality though. I want to make sure if it does have some spice, hit me with some quality with it. Hit me with some smooth. Hit me with that Rolls Royce of spice. I would love to run into that. I would love to run into
spice
that.
at me for no reason. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, just to be rude about it. Like, you know, like people be eating like these peppers and stuff like that, and they be sweating doing all these little challenges and stuff, and it's just like, dude, man, what's the purpose of eating this at this point in time? Like, why are you eating it? Like, it's not about flavor anymore.
No, give me. I want my flavor. I want my spice with a purpose. A spice with an aim. Come on now, like don't just throw the spice at me just for the sake of spice.
There you go. Yeah, bro. I'm gonna go ahead and get started on getting this up and running. But that's interesting. You say you've been craving it ever since that episode, because I have also, man. And I've been. I hadn't still got the urge quite pleased yet. Like, I've done some smoking, but. And, you know, you'll get like little notes here and there, but it's just like, ooh, I just need a little more spice. Like, it's kind of like I want about the same portion I had on that last spicy episode. So I am ready to revisit a little spice, man.
Same. And like I said, I want that Rolls Royce treatment with the spice. I want to run into that. I want to run into something that's spicy and smooth at the same time, that just handles that spice with the ease of the, you know what I'm saying, the turbulence in it.
Yeah, bro, without a doubt. Right off the bat, I'm gonna tell you, I don't know that this is gonna be it though.
Well, opposite to how you might feel, this Cohiba off the bat it's nice. It's nice. Oh, you know, I don't smoke a lot of Cohibas. Okay.
I'm just saying the spice. It just this.
Oh, the spice. Okay.
Really creamy right off the bat, and kind of, you know, really creamy and smooth right off the bat. I don't feel like I'm gonna get no spice with the way this came off, but yeah, I know what you dealing with already. When you said you got a Cohiba and you in the $20 mark price range.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you getting some of that Maybach
this
treatment.
Is nice.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
This is nice. So far, like that aroma, it's like, okay. I don't know if I can find the right words to express how I'm feeling right now. But this aroma is like as soon as that match hit and it started lighting like that, it's a light, creamy. It's just a good feel aroma.
Yeah.
It's not heavy. It's not anything that's like, and the aromas aren't crazy. It's delightful. The aroma's delightful so far.
It's definitely.
It introduces the stick really, really, really smoothly. Really, really, really nice. Nice introduction.
This is really smooth for me also, but I think we just talked about spice, and now it's ingrained in my brain again, and this is starting off really smooth and really creamy.
Yeah,
and there might be
it's a departure from it. Mm-hmm. But right now you want the spice.
I don't know, man. I ain't trying to say I'm into it, but I am craving it. That was interesting you said that, man. So, the fact that I'm not getting any of it on this is kind of like, you got a taste for steak and you end up eating something else. And the food was good, but it's like you still craving that steak. I feel like this is what's going to happen on this, and it's unfair to this punch because it's starting off really well. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, I definitely understand what you're saying with that.
Honduran through and through. I didn't say that earlier. Did you get the specs on yours?
No, I didn't go through mine. And I got something to show you real quick too. After I go through mine. So mine is wrapper is San Andreas, origin Nicaraguan. We have binder Honduran, filler Honduran and Nicaraguan. It's a mixed bag. Cohiba went out and said, give me a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
They had fun.
Just going on. Yeah, it seemed like they had fun with this. So it's like with everything that they put with it, it's just like, let's just like craft something special. That's what it seems like. Just going off the description as far as like all the binders and fillers and wrappers. Like, let's find something special and let's construct something unique. So we'll see if it's true to form, true to what I'm thinking it is. So it's supposed to be a medium profile. So far, true to that. I'm liking it so far. So real smooth, real light as far as like that profile, medium on that profile. So it's good. It's good. I'm with it.
Okay.
But so let me show you this real quick. So when I was in the cigar shop, I saw this presentation of who was it? CAO. It's real dope. So let me see if you can see this. This is pretty cool, man. Yeah. So on the box, it shows the binder, filler, wrapper, and it tells you where everything is coming from.
Yeah.
Like on the presentation. And I thought that was real dope. And like it was the crux, where we saw how they gave you the rundown of what you should be looking for in the stick when you pick this particular one up versus this one, all the notes that you should look for. Even though sometimes we like to be surprised, sometimes we like to know what we get into, especially for that novice. But I thought CAO did a really, really dope job with laying it out, just dissecting that cigar and saying, hey, look, this is what the wrapper is, this is what the binder is, this is what the filler is, and how that cigar is constructed. That was real cool. A really good selling point when we talk about that presentation.
That's a good thing that companies in our industry is starting to try to expand on their advertising. You know what I'm saying? And not doing things as traditional, but doing things a little different, because that's going to open up the next wave of how things will go. And I think that's a good direction for people. It's great for people who are novices and beginners and really learning about cigars. And it's great for those who are experienced, but now you just get a visual, that lays it out clearly for you. So cool.
Like we've been in for a while, and I still enjoy seeing that. I enjoyed seeing that. I enjoyed seeing what Crux was doing. Even though we know a lot of these cigars, we studied a lot of these cigars, we smoked a lot of these cigars, and we broke down a lot of these cigars. So even for us, like to me, it's still good to see, So I can even imagine for that novice who's walking in the cigar shop for the first time, and they're really trying to figure it all out. What does all of this mean? Because it can be a lot. Depending on what cigar spot you can go to, it can be a lot. Like, what's the difference between this and that? why is this one shaped like this? And why is that one shaped like that? This one's long and skinny. This one's short and fat. This one, like, how long is this cigar going to last? Why is this one dark? And why is that one light? It's a lot. It can be overwhelming. So, you know what I'm saying? Applaud to those cigar brands that are starting to do that.
Yeah, man. Simplify the process for everybody across the board, man. Because once again, there's a learning curve that comes with this whole cigar smoking thing. And you want to simplify that for people as much as possible if you want to retain people and bring more people into the culture. And at the same time, for people, you also want to give them the best chance of wanting to stick around, you know, because you don't want to get overwhelmed and leave.
You get that.
And you also, and you don't want people to also feel like, oh, well, they all just the same because they don't know no better. You know what I'm saying? So in order to eliminate both of those, teach them what to expect so they now know, okay, I should be looking for these things. Then they can have a more astute taste buds and senses, you know what I'm saying? And smells and stuff like that to be aware of these things they need to be looking for and really appreciate all the sensations that come with it.
So let me ask you this, though. This is going to be an interesting correlation. Just came to my mind. The way we simplify things in life, which this is a point of simplification, which is good. We like simplification sometimes, but just like when we talked about music in the past, and you know what I'm saying, the way that music, talking about music creation, you know, we know how hard you had to work before in the past to create music, and then now it becomes easier. The simplification becomes easier. And then we might look at some people who has an easier process, like, man, you don't know what I've been through to get here. Yeah. So is it the same with the cigar journey? Like, what we had to go through to get here without the simplification and just having to go trial by error and just figure it out for ourselves and smoke this one is like, ooh, this is great. And smoke the next one like, ooh, no, this ain't. You know what I'm saying? Or do you think that that's still there? And just so those visual aids are helpful, and then you're still going to go through that period of earning your stripes.
Yeah, I think it's helpful because I think ultimately you still got to earn your stripes. Because even if I tell you it's cocoa notes, is coffee notes, is spices and cinnamon and stuff, you still gotta train yourself to be able to pick those up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can tell you all day what to expect, but you might miss it even then.
True. So good point.
So I think
because it's just always just stick out. Okay, yeah. You're right. Because some of those notes going to be real subtle. Some of them are going to be paired with another one, and you might miss it if you're not really honed in and say, okay, that's a cocoa note on top of a woody tone, and then that's how they pair together. Or this is a nutty with a molasses, and that's how they pair together. Because it is unique if you just get straight molasses or straight leather. But then it's different when you pair that leather with that earth. And it just has a different kind of...
Yeah. People hear us go through that all the time on the show when trying to figure out descriptions out. It's like, I kind of feel like this, but that's when you dealing with some stuff that's pairing really well. And it's just like, they did a good job with it, but now I don't know what I'm experiencing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So the listeners can
either way
struggle with that weekly, like, you know, on some cigars, you know, not all.
So either way, you're gonna earn your stripes. Either way,
you gotta earn them. Even if I tell you what's there, you still gotta find it. Like, we've had episodes where you was like, I looked at the description, but I ain't catch none of that stuff they said. But these are the notes I picked up on. It's just. It is what it is, you know. So they got to earn their stripes regardless. I'm not mad at it. To me, that's the equivalent of going from cassette tape to CD. Like, you know, it's easier, but did it really hurt the consumer? You know what I'm saying? Like, to not do this no more and to just press the button. You know what I'm saying? Like,
the tape getting stuck in the Now I got to deal with scratches and my CD skipping.
You know what I'm saying? You got new stuff to deal with, but at the same time, it simplifies other stuff, you know. So
I might not have to sit there for, you know what I'm saying, 30 seconds or a minute to fast forward from one song to the next. I can just go to track number 4, but I still got to deal with the scratches. It might not get caught. The tape might not get caught and raveled in, and I got to put my finger in it or put a pencil in there. Got to deal with the scratches. I got to.
You got to take care of your stuff now. You know what I'm saying?
So I get it. I like it. But yeah, man.
Hey, look, let's double back on some of these the rapper talk from earlier, man.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what's up?
So I heard some interesting news that would have changed rap. While we sitting around complaining, what we were complaining. I was complaining earlier. I'll say that. So
yeah, we was complaining.
Yeah, but check it. Get this. I seen an interview where Tupac's brother said Pac was really close to signing with Bad Boy at a point. He was really close before the whole getting shot and all that stuff, because he wanted to support black business and he wanted to get, and him and Biggie were cool. So he was close to going to go sign with Bad Boy. He was cool with Puffy too at the time. Think how that would have changed everything, because they wouldn't have died from those incidents.
Yeah.
He would have never got shot. The beef would have never occurred.
It would have been no East Coast, West Coast beef.
That wouldn't have never happened, and we'd have got some serious music between them two. You know what I'm saying?
But would Pac have been wearing a shiny suit?
I don't think so. But they admittedly, people from their camp, like the president of Bad Boy and stuff like that, he admitted, Pac always said Biggie stole his style. There's interviews with the guy who was running it next to Puff that said, nah, we took his style. The template for Biggie's career was I Get Around, is what he said. He openly admitted that. He said we took that as a template because it didn't sound like nothing else on the radio when it came out. Everybody wanted to have that lifestyle from the video, fun at the beach and everybody, fun at the pool party, everybody doing that. Everybody wanted that record that the girls could like and the guys liked it also. So you think back to Juicy and how that looked, pool party, Biggie in his jersey, you know what I'm saying, standing there. They took it as a template, dropping those records that the girls would feel and the guys would also feel also. Yeah. Making him that smooth player guy. So,
which it worked. It worked.
Which it worked. So now having Pac in-house, they would have groomed him the same way. I think they'd have followed Pac's lead a little bit more than following Puffy's lead. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I mean, well, actually,
possibly.
I wouldn't say that. Possibly not, because even though Puffy's largely different from a Suge Knight, you still felt like Suge Knight still had he was still the captain of the ship and steering Death Row. Yeah. I still believe that Puffy still would have been able to steer Bad Boy even with Pac on the label the same way Suge was able to steer Pac in Death Row. Pac, strong personality, strong mind, but still at the same time, he was willing to follow a lead. As we saw as he metamorphed into this and then metamorphed into that. And still at the same time, he was still, and I know people might not like this, but he was still a follower. Yeah. He was still able to follow a lead, which was Suge's lead when he got on Death Row. So if he had been on Bad Boy, Puffy's approach is a little bit different, but he probably still would have followed the lead, just as Biggie was following the lead, just as Mace followed the lead. What would have made Pac different in that situation, that circumstance, to where he might not have followed Puffy's lead as Puffy did his thing on Bad Boy?
Well, the reason I say it would have been different because Puffy might not have felt the need to lead. Pac was an established artist more so than Biggie was. Biggie was being broken.
Being broken from the ground up. True.
Yeah, from the ground up. So that's why I say, like, when you bring in a Tupac Shakur who Me Against the World out and he's doing millions of, he's a platinum artist already. Do you shift the platinum artist to your style? Or do you like, all right, guys, we follow this blueprint right now. You know what I'm saying? With them already acknowledging they follow.
I'm about to say, especially after saying, we borrowed your blueprint.
Yeah, that's the only reason why. Now, what you say makes sense, but the only reason I differ on it is because he was an established artist at the time, and I think with them acknowledging they took his template, like they probably would have continued down that path, but Pac style would have stayed similar to what it was, but less of the gang influence that came with him going over there in California and leaving New York.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? For sure. I wonder what his music would have sounded like. I really wonder what his music would have sounded like.
Interesting, because he would have been with a lot of them New York producers at that time. You know what I'm saying? So it'd have been interesting. Like, we loved him on all his Daz beats and Dre beats, but we'd have been hearing him on maybe some Pete Rock and some, some of them guys.
Primo.
Yeah. So it'd have been
Primo.
Crazy to hear them tracks. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, Large Professor would have got him some joints. He would have had you know what? Matter of fact, now that we speak on it, because even though I love All Eyes on Me, and it's hard to say which one was my favorite album, either was Me Against the World or All Eyes on Me, he probably would have leaned more towards that Me Against the World vibe, and maybe even a little bit further into it.
Yeah.
He would have been Mobb Deep-esque with some, you know what I'm saying, Illmatic vibes. Like, if we thought he was the greatest rapper at that point, he probably would have been miles beyond the greatest rapper, honestly. And no diss to the West Coast production, but I just feel like that East Coast production just brings a little bit more depth out of an artist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because when it comes to West Coast was more about the vibe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was more about the feeling of the rap of the record, more so than the content of the record. And Pac was hugely about content.
Right.
But then he got with the West Coast producers and, coupled that content with what the vibe felt like and bringing it, predicated more on that.
Yeah. We'd have got more of them Shed So Many Tears type records. You know what I'm saying? It would have been Me Against the World, like you said, and that would have probably leveled them up. And not only that, it would have just changed the whole landscape of the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm very interested to know what it could have been like. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
what Biggie would have been like, knowing he would have been in there competing, not competing,
competing on different coasts. It's a different type of competition. More so of an iron sharpening iron type of competition.
That way
versus you know what I'm saying, East Coast versus West Coast. This championship, you know what I'm saying, we I'm gonna build up and beat you versus we working together in house to sharpen our tools. Would have been crazy. Maybe we wouldn't have mumble rap today.
You never know, because they would have died, bro. Like, we just don't know. Like, I don't know what Jay-Z would have been at, what his legacy would have been. A lot of stuff would have been in question. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think Nas would stay solidified. Wu-Tang would stay what they were. Like a lot of them guys, but you have to wonder about the guys who started sliding up the ranks after they came.
Yeah, I mean, and you know what? And in combination with that, because honestly, I believe that what Puffy was doing in 2000 is kind of what leans to where music is today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
I blame 2000 Bad Boy for rap music kind of being watered down and people not looking at, okay, you have to be uber talented. Even Woe was huge, stuff that Black Rob was doing and G-Dep, they were still spitting, but Diddy made it cool to be more like, you ain't got to be a rapper to be hot. You just make some hot songs. You know what I'm saying? It made it more about just making a hot song than being...
He was the king of the single. Like, hey, man, we taking the singles to the next level. And shout out to him for it, but like you said,
he still did it. Yeah.
It shifted the industry, too, at the same time. Like, it's way of thinking.
Yeah, you might not have had that if Pac was on Bad Boy, Biggie and Pac survived, up on the level of rap music, and then you got some of the artists that say those artists still would have came in, DMX still would have came in and did his thing, and we wouldn't have what we have today.
I mean, think about it.
Possibly.
Look at Pac's history of the type of single he would give you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He would give you a Dear Mama. He would give you a Shed So Many Tears. He would give you I Ain't Mad At You as a single. As a single, bro. Like, so when he's radio. The king, when he's the king, look what he get radio to go play. You know what I'm saying? Like, so think if he if he would have been on Bad Boy, and now the culture is, hey, you got to have a Dear Mama if you're trying to, you know what I'm saying? If you're trying to get played on the radio now, the culture don't get watered down into
That's crazy. Because you know what? As a matter of fact, if you go back into time and you look at it, it was like that. If you want a radio play, you had to have a Dear Mama. You had it was get in your bag, give me something dope, give me something deep, something with substance. If you want to get on this radio, UNITY.
Yeah.
Radio single. You know what I mean? Like
Unity.
that was
radio.
That was what you had to do to get on the radio. That's wild. I never thought about it like that. Like you had to reach into that bag for a radio single. You had to give me a UNITY.
Yeah, bro.
You had to give me a Dear Mama. Brenda's Got a Baby.
Brenda's Got a Baby? As a
matter of fact,
like, you know what
matter of fact, the Lost Boys, their biggest record, Renee is a story like that.
Renee, bro. Like, that's what I'm saying, man. So it depends on who's the king at the time and what helps with that. You know, who's selling records and what they putting out when they doing it, you know, that can shift the culture. So yeah, bro. Yeah. What if? And be mad that didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause it would have changed things. How much? I don't know, but it would have changed things.
Well, one thing I will know before we get into these midway reviews is we probably wouldn't have sensitive rappers like we got now.
Whiny rappers?
Whiny rappers.
Emotional rappers?
Yeah. But where's your cigar at right now?
I would say, man, it is an ultra creamy cigar. And it's I hadn't been paying close attention to it, man, to be honest with you, but it's I have picked up on a little bit of I'd probably say a little bit of woodiness and a little bit of cocoa along with that creaminess. And that's really about it. You know what I'm saying?
Man, you sound disappointed. Who would have thought we see the day when we get disappointed in a smooth, creamy cigar?
I know.
Your palate's on another level.
My palate's on another level, man. It's too creamy for me, man. And I think that's where I'm at. I'm just like, man, I wish the creaminess was dialed back a little bit, man. I feel like I'm smoking a marshmallow or something, man. I don't know, man.
Like, old cream puff cigar. Come on now.
Yeah, man. But where you at though, man?
Man, I'm riding smooth, man. I'm in the back of a Maybach right now, man. I'm in the back of a Maybach. This bad boy is just riding smooth. Nice. It's actually a more full smoke than the profile or that I was expecting. The profile is right where it said it was going to be. Like, it's nice, medium bodied, but more of a creamier smoke than I was expecting. But I'm appreciating it though. I don't mind it. not from this Cohiba. This Cohiba's doing me right. I'm with it. So far, I'm just getting some really, really good, nice earthy notes. Nothing sweet, but it's like have you ever had a cigar that's kind of giving you that where it almost gives you that sweet, but not quite? It's just like just enough to say, okay, I'm gonna be pleasurable on your palate, but I'm not gonna give you anything sweet. Definitely not overly sweet, but then not even in that sweet realm, but just nudging it to say, okay, yeah, that's where this one's kind of giving me right now.
That's what it is.
Yeah. So before we got to this midway situation, yeah, look at that. I mentioned sensitive rappers, man. So before we got on, we were talking about Wale. We brought up Wale and how he was in that sports realm, and he did the intro to First Take and all that stuff, and you know what I'm saying, it was on a certain trajectory. And we talked about Meek Mill and MMG, and even though they coming back, Ross and Meek, hey, they on to something. But kind of feel like they've been hindered in a sense where they gotten too sensitive. Even talked about Kanye a little bit, you know what I'm saying, in the emotions. And then we got Drake. Drake drops an album. It comes under critique, in a sense, you know, which happens. You know, you get the what's the Double XL, the Source magazine. You get a mic rating. It comes with some critiques. You know, your albums are getting scrutinized, right? But even back in the day, and say you didn't get the mics that you wanted to get, and somebody reviewed your album, gave you an honest review. I don't know how they felt, the rappers, how they felt, but it wasn't publicized how they felt. They definitely weren't writing the editors and being like, you suck and you could never be a rapper. That's why you're an editor and that's why you only review music. You know, they just appreciated
Kanye did get his score upgraded.
Did he? I remember that. I remember that.
They updated his 5 mics.
but that's probably where it started. It probably started with Kanye. And maybe Kanye gave him the green light and said, hey, look, if you can get your stuff updated upgraded because you went to a rant and got into your feelings about what you was rated, maybe it's cool to be a rapper who's always in their feelings about certain things. And I feel like it's a weak move. Sorry, Drake, but it's a weak move to when you get critiqued. And trust me and you, for the audience, we are artists. We do music, and I'm sensitive with my music. I don't know how you feel about it, but I'm sensitive about it. But if somebody gave me a critique, and I have been critiqued in the past, and by no means am I on Drake's level at all, which for another reason I can't understand why you'd be so sensitive about a critique, is I feel like critiques make you better. And maybe you just got to a point to where, don't critique me. What do you got to say about me? Because I don't need to get better, which I figured that's also a problem, which is why we're in the state of music that we are now, because nobody wants to try to get better based on critiques. Right. But every time I've been critiqued, it might have hurt my feelings. But instead of lashing out, I just worked a little harder. You know, you've critiqued me in some sense, in some instances, and you might have seen an expression on my face like, dang, trying to hurt my feelings, man. But I've always taken that and say, you know what? Let me work on this. Let me figure this out. Let me take that into account. Let me implement it. Let me make it better. Let me continue to grow. Let me just take that information on the chin and ride with it. But I feel like these rappers, not R&B singers, not jazz musicians, rappers, the hard guys, quote unquote, have been the most sensitive individuals when it comes to critiquing their music and just being so deep into their feelings about their art, which I get it, but at the same time, is it I don't know, like it's cream puff, like dude, take your critique and go on. Like, do you feel like the rappers have a place for that?
This is the interesting thing, right? You got to know where critique is coming from. You can sense it when somebody's talking to you, like where a critique is coming from, you know, because you within yourself kind of know where your strengths and weaknesses lie anyway. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't, you should be able to go back and listen to whatever they're critiquing and say, okay, they own to something there, or either they missed the mark there. You know what I mean? Like, so if I critiqued you and said something like, hey man, those drums are hitting too hard, you know, bring them back or something like that, then you can go back and be like, all right, maybe they are a little loud. Maybe I need to cut that down, or nah, I'm leaving it how it is. Forget what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. With a guy like Drake now, he blew up on Joe Budden for Joe Budden critique of his work. But for me, when I listen to what Joe had to say, for the most part, that came from a fan's perspective. It came from a good place. Like, I want to hear the best from Drake because I hold him to that level. He's the top guy to me. He's the bar for this thing that I was once a part of, that I love. I spent my whole life loving. I now have dedicated my post-career talking about what's going on in this world. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, so he wants the king, and obviously he recognizes you as the king of the game. You know what I'm saying? To perform at that level.
At your level, yeah.
Yeah. So if he has a criticism of it, it comes from that place. Like, hey man, we need you to be great. Like you are the one that wears the crown. Go be great. Instead, him realizing that's where this criticism comes from, he responds with just tearing them down with insults about, you could never do what I did, and you ain't on my level, so I don't care what you talking about. I got a 747 and you fly first class, Air Blue Moon. It's like, dang, dude, what you talking about, man? You know, actual fans felt the same way that he felt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he just got the voice and you heard what he said.
Yeah,
so
you got the platform and the voice. Yeah.
But we kind of all want you to grow up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you know what?
We're your fans, the people, we're your age, we're your demographic. We the ones who are growing with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we want you to grow with us also. Instead of looking down to pull these kids up, like, they gonna feel however they feel about you. You know what I'm saying? You can't chase them. So yes, it does look like a regression. And it's okay for somebody to tell you that, because you gotta have somebody to say that to you at some point in time, or you'll just run wild and destroy yourself at some point. We'll all self-destruct at a point without somebody refocusing our attention on, hey man, maybe this is a better direction.
Yeah. And you know what? I mean, this isn't a rapper that I'm speaking on when I make this criticism or this comment, but Kales had a critique at one point, right? Somebody critiqued Kales by form of Trey Songz and a few other people, you know, and so Kales, this ain't it. You know, like around the Double Up era, you know, I don't know if you remember Double Up, but Double Up definitely wasn't one of my favorite albums from Kales by any stretch of the imagination.
he was doing exactly what Drake doing today.
He's doing exactly what Drake was doing, exactly. But then took that critique, and then following that critique, gave us Love Letter. You know what I'm saying? We just came off a little high. We listened to Happy People the other day. It was great.
Yeah.
Album is phenomenal. I almost forgot how phenomenal it was until I ran that bad boy all the way through yesterday. Like, this show is so great.
1, 2, 3. Hello. Yeah, bro. It's like that.
But he went through his period of critique, and being the GOAT, reached into his bag, went to his little thing and created another great album, almost as great as Happy People was with that Love Letter project. And it's like being able to take critique, and this is for sports players too, being able to take that critique and, you know, doing what you got to do to level up. And I feel like even, and this is a segue, I guess, veering off of hip hop, I feel like sports players, they have the same issue with critique. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Take those critiques and get better. Like, maybe it's a generation thing, but which is weird is Drake is almost as old as we are. You should be able to take those critiques and roll with it. I mean, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about critique that people have such a hard issue with. Like, and I'm not going to say like every time I've been critiqued, like it felt good. It's not supposed to feel good. You know what I'm saying? But it's how you outwardly show it and how you outwardly handle it that I have the issue with. I'm not saying don't ever be in your emotions about it. Get in your emotions about it. But then once you get in your emotions, how do you recover from it? How do you come out of it? Because every time I've been critiqued, it didn't feel good.
Yeah.
No matter what it was that I was doing. But how do I handle it? And then especially when you're on a certain platform, you're making a certain amount of money and you're doing all of these things and people just want to see the best out of you. What is the issue with the critique nowadays, man?
Yeah. Because like you say, it don't feel good, the critique. It's never felt good to nobody. But at the same, and it don't feel good because you probably gave your best effort. And for somebody to say that ain't good enough, you like, dang, but I tried. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it sucks. But at the same time, it, in most cases, people ain't trolling. In most, well, I don't know about the internet. I ain't talking about
people troll. People troll. Yeah, people troll.
Yeah, I ain't talking about comments on the internet, but I'm talking about
you can get the sentiment.
Real faces.
Yeah, you can get the sentiment whether somebody even in real faces people troll. Just to get clicks and to get, what I'm saying, to get the high take. Gilbert Arenas.
Everything's
we got Gilbert Arenas. Yeah. Gilbert Arenas is one of the biggest critics who, to me, seems like you critique just to get eyes on you. It's like there's no way you can really believe that. There's absolutely no way that you can actually really believe that off that critique. No, I refuse to believe it.
Okay, so you own to something. The trolls have messed the game up why people can't take critiques. They don't know who hating and what's real no more. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's what it is. It's hard to tell what's love and what's just you saying stuff for saying stuff. So now people just think for themselves. They got to tune everything out and just think for themselves. And that's why I say people are getting stupider now. Because now we tune everything out and we just think for ourselves and everybody think, hey, man, everything's a conspiracy. This ain't real no more. That ain't real no more. Like, space ain't real. Like, we got all these new thoughts thinking for themselves because they don't know what to believe no more. Information overload, man. So I think the trolls messed it up. So now you can't give a real criticism to help somebody, man. Like, because even if you get your best effort and it won't you need to hear that it won't so you can go back to the drawing board and figure it out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
one thing I
figure out how to be better. Like, okay, I did get off track there. I missed it.
One thing I've always preached to people I mentor, my kids or whatever, I always tell them your best effort is really not your best effort. You always have a better effort. Well, even though you think that might be your best effort, you can still find a way to dig a little deeper and bring even a better effort. Now you work towards that best effort. So it's always a work in progress of working towards that best effort. So we think we worked our best effort, but it's always a level above it or digging deeper underneath it that's even a better effort. But sometimes we have to be driven there. We have to be told, okay, good effort, but there's a better effort. Dig deeper. We don't understand how far our bodies can go and our minds can go sometimes until we're told, no, there's another level. Dig deeper.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whether you're working out, you're lifting something, okay, that was a good effort. There's another effort, but you got to break through those barriers. Same thing with music. It's another effort. Okay, best effort, great. And then that's where people got to get that mindset. Even artists get that mindset of, no, there's a better effort. You told me all the time, dude, learn your theory, man. Yeah, I might be giving my best effort when I'm creating those Nag Champa albums, but dude, learn your theory. You could be better. Learn your theory. That's a better effort. Yeah, when I created those projects, that was my best effort in the moment. But is there still a better effort? Yeah, I just got to get there. You know what I mean?
All right, it makes sense. That's interesting. You made me think to something I heard about Kobe Bryant recently that I learned. You ever heard about his blackout exercises?
No.
He would do blackout workouts, and that's how he would train. So like he would train until he blacked out, and then that's when they left the court. When you start seeing like spots,
stars,
everything start going. Yeah, you start seeing the stars and everything go black. That's when training is over. If you don't see that, keep putting up shots. Until you hit that point. And that's how he trained. Like, talk about best effort. You know what I'm saying? It's right there.
And then that's how like when
run until they wouldn't stop running until they would throw up blood. He said when you throw up blood, then
maybe not blood. But we do that in the military. We do that in the military. You train to failure. Failure. Yeah, you train to muscle failure, mental failure. You train to failure because what you're doing is I was speaking about this yesterday when I was talking about my run teaching and I teach people how to run. Is you're always saying when you train to that failure, you're creating what is a new normal for you. So now that you hit that point and now you sustain that and then that becomes your new normal. And then once you get that and that's normal for you, go to the next level. You go to the next level, to the next level. So that's exactly what Kobe was doing with those blackouts. It's like,
he was trying to failure.
So now you can train a little harder and longer until you get to that failure point, to that blackout. train a little harder and further till you get to that blackout. Your body adjusts.
Yeah.
But that all comes from being able to take critique and being able to say, nah, I can give more. It's just the fact that we get so sensitive and we don't.
Yeah.
We want to be praised and trophy for thank you for your effort, which is good. We need that from time to time. But at the same time, that realistic thought of, nah, bro, it's another level. Let's get there.
What if Kobe, when he shot that air ball, if at the end of the game, like his second season or something like that, third season maybe? What if he'd have just broke his spirit there? And we never got a Mamba. Yeah, because all the criticism he got in the offseason didn't make him work harder. It broke him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Or when Mayweather took that L in the Olympics. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. That was Mayweather. That was your best effort. Good job, man. That was your best effort. You couldn't have done anything better. But now he said, you know what? I'm never gonna lose. I'm never gonna lose again. You know what I'm saying? There's a better effort. I'm gonna train like a madman
again. Right.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, pressure makes diamonds, man. And these artists got to get to that point, even though they've reached such great heights. We talked about where the game could have been if Pac would have stayed with would have signed with Bad Boy, and there was no East Coast West Coast beef, and iron would have sharpened iron, and this and this and that. That a lot of these artists, even Drake, you have to understand, you have ownership on you to keep carrying the culture, and you're gonna carry the culture by you continuing to show what that work ethic looks like. And not just sitting on your money and saying I can do whatever because now I'm going to be experimental because I'm rich and I'm one of the hottest ever. So no matter what I do, it's going to go platinum.
Speaking of that, man, think about that, man. You just said that everybody for years stole Pac's work ethic. Everybody talked about his work ethic. When he was the king of the game, that's the one thing everybody said aim to attain was to have a work ethic like that. They was like, wow, he worked crazy. So then you get all these people. Look at all these artists that put out crazy mixtapes and stuff. Your 50 Cents, your Lil Waynes, your Dipsets, all these people. They were aiming for the Pac standard by dropping all this content, all this material, nonstop working. Having the thing was, I got 100 songs in the stash. I got 200 songs in the stash. Remember in the 2000s, everybody used to say that all the time. Like,
yeah. I did. How many songs did you do for this project, man? I did 100 songs for this project. I just picked the best 15.
That's how people used to go. That used to be the standard, man. When the king was on top and working hard was the standard, that was it. When it was putting out this level, that was it. So if Joe Budden say, hey, Drake, man, you the man, you wear the throne, you wear the crown, set the standard, set the bar. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't let J. Cole come on your song and run circles around you. Set the bar. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're the standard for the game. The game can't. It's all downhill from whatever you set. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they feel like he set a low standard. It is what it is.
Drake, you got a responsibility.
Come back and be everything we thought you were. That's all they asking. Don't be LeBron and cry about it. You know what I'm saying? Just come back and be who we thought you was, bro.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's just how I feel, man. And like I said, You are already up there, so you can take it or you cannot take it. But honestly, I feel like the game depends on it, and in a sense, the youth depends on it. You know, there is a certain responsibility to public culture to show, hey, look, even if, like, to me, these kids might not be rappers, but if they see your work ethic and this is how you do rap, okay, this is how I'm going to attack sports. This is how I'm going to attack school. This is how I'm going to attack my life in the workforce. It translates. You know what I'm saying? It means something. It means something.
Well, bro, look at it this way, man. And then we'll get into our reviews after this, but look at it this way. I always talk about everybody wanted to be Wayne, so they took the easier part of being what Wayne was. You know what I mean? Now, Drake is running the game, and he does his albums with your Futures and people like that. And everybody kind of follow what Future and them do. And they follow what Drake does when he's on these songs with these guys. And Drake is doubling back and following what the kids is doing. And it's becoming this cycle of this. When in reality, you look at 21 Savage. 21 started really going when he started kicking it with Cole. Now all of a sudden 21 rapping. Like he trying. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. To get barred up out here because he started kicking it with Cole. Cole brought him up a notch. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Drake could do the same thing for the culture. And as the top guy in the culture, you got a responsibility whether you believe it or not. You know what I'm saying? Whether you got enough respect for the culture to have it or not, you have it. Whatever you put out is going to push the culture to whatever the next stage is. True. You can keep some of us in hip hop, man, if you push it the right way, or you can have some of us fall out depending on if it's the wrong way.
Like, I'm done. Throwing in the towel. Can't listen to rap no more.
Yeah, bro.
All right, man. Let's do it.
So, all right, man. Let's do my second review of the Golden Era because I'm sure I reviewed this in previous week. But I can't say that much has changed for me throughout this. This stick is still creamy. It's still got your little some woody notes. I feel like I'm picking up on some type of molasses in the mix somewhere also. And there's almost like a graham cracker type thing is on the retro hill that I'm picking up on at this point in the stick, somewhere in the second, third. That's about all that I got on it at this point in time. Or those notes. Probably would be good notes for somebody, probably enjoyable for somebody, but not what I guess I just ain't in the mood for it today, man. So I'm going to go 1 to 5. I'm going to go a 3.8 because it's been a solid stick, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
3.8. It's been a solid stick. I don't really have no complaints about it. I just am, this is the equivalent of eating a meal you didn't want. But it was fine. It tasted fine. It was good. Construction was good. Good aroma coming off of it. A good burn. You know, it didn't have no problems really with the burn. Nothing like that. So 3.8.
3.8. That's solid. You know what I'm saying? That's still solid. That's still solid.
Hopefully that's unbiased as possible. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to judge that as fairly as possible by saying that. Wasn't a bad stick. I have to take how I feel.
Yeah, you need some spice, man.
Get, you know what I'm saying?
Get some spice in your life.
Yeah, and that Placencia last night didn't help. So
yeah, forgot about that. Smoked the Placencia last night. And anytime you follow, look, I don't care what it is that you smoke. If you are smoking something following Placencia, it's gonna pale. It is. And that might be it between you craving spice and then having that Placencia, because you ain't complaining about that Placencia, and I'm sure that Placencia wasn't spicy.
No, I didn't complain.
So if you're not gonna hit exactly what you want, that cigar got to be top notch.
Yeah,
top notch. All right. Yeah, so let me go into this Cohiba, man. Construction of this Cohiba, great. I have not had to touch this cigar up at all. It burned great. If I wouldn't have knocked my cigar, the ash probably wouldn't have fell off earlier. But really smooth, man. I kind of figured out what that slight sweet was. It was kind of like a cinnamon. It had like a little bit, like a small hint of cinnamon in it. And that's what I might have been confusing with some sweet. A lot of good woody notes, some oak. That was probably the highlight of it. Like a really smooth oak with a hint of like some cinnamon. Just kind of like coupled in. And I really feel like where I'm at with the cigar, that the cigar is probably going to do some really, really nice changes. That's kind of where I'm feeling. So I really do need to get a second review, a follow-up, the finished review on this particular Cohiba, because I really feel like it's going to do something special going to that finishing up that second third, going to that final third, because it's already been doing some great things through that first and starting that second third. Really smooth, man. Like I said, probably like the Rolls Royce of sticks, which is how it handles everything. Almost Placencia-like, but not quite. Not quite.
Okay.
Not quite. But really, really smooth. Good aromas. This Cohiba, man, I'm gonna give it a 4.5. Man, I really enjoyed it. The aromas are really good, and that oak is really solid. It just it sets the tone really nice, and everything else that comes around that oak is hitting the mark. So really enjoyable stick. Cohiba Riviera Purple Band, 4.5.
Hey man, that's a dope score, man. I'm with that, man. 4.5. I'll have to keep that one in mind because I need some 4.5 in my life, man. But anyway, we appreciate y'all for tuning in to this week's episode of the Cigars and Everything Else podcast, man. Y'all keep them sticks up. We out.
Yes, sir.